Hello and welcome to the first official episode of the Bazaarcast. It's me, your resident weeb, Bazaar, and I am joined today with my co-host and good friend, Zeno.
Hello everyone. Today on the Bazaarcast, we're going to be talking about all kinds of anime shit. Bazaar, why don't you start us off?
So, speaking of anime shit, currently, My Hero Academia Season 5 is out. You're caught up, right?
I am completely caught up.
Okay, so, as far as I know, I don't think... I've read, like, the first volume or two of the manga. You haven't read the manga,
Not
right?
really, no.
Okay, so neither of us are, like, the manga readers, so... if it's not in the anime, other than like one thing, I don't know anything about it. So like spoiler wise or like further chapters in or whatever. I'm gonna be honest. The beginning of season 5 was it's pretty fucking boring. I didn't really care.
Yeah,
What did you think? 'Cause...
I was kind of like that too. Are they gonna do each round? Are they gonna show each round? And sure enough, I was like, I really hope they don't, because I really just want to watch Todoroki, Bakugo, and obviously Deku, and they showed everyone else. I'm like, it's a little boring, but the last like 3 fights they were really good. And spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched it, the last episode when he gets Black Whip and is able to use it, at least for like a second, is really cool.
Yeah. The voice crack. But yeah, the first, like, because I think it's 10 episodes that are out right now, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
The first 7 were super fucking boring, in my opinion. Like, it was cool getting to see, like, non-class A students, but I think that would have been fine to have in, like, one episode. But it just feels like, it's like the stupid fucking, I mean the, what is it, the hero, not the Hero Festival, what is it, where they all, like, fought each other in the...
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
That whole arc, I guess that was more interesting because there's like one-on-one fights and it delved into like each student a little bit more. But this was just so fucking boring until like Deku finally started to be able to like, he got fucking, I don't know, mind flashed real fast. And then got taken into the Shadow Realm to unlock a new ability like a fucking RPG character.
That was pretty funny. I am happy to see more of it. I always forget his name, but he's the one that's transferring, that does the brainwashing.
Shinsa.
Yeah, I really like him. So I'm glad that...
He's really cool. He's like a baby Aizawa.
Yeah, I'm glad we get more of him.
Is it Aizawa or Aizawa?
I say Aizawa.
I also say Aizawa, but sometimes people yell at me for mispronouncing names. Like, I always used to say Tamaki, but it's no. What I used to say Tamaki, but it's Tamaki.
Yeah, it's Tamaki.
And now I've ingrained it because it's just like Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was pretty boring, honestly. It's like fight after fight. The Bakugo and his team fight, that was pretty cool.
I just really like Bakugo.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. Everything before that, pretty boring.
Yeah. Although seeing crap, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm terrible with names, everyone. What's his name? Bird Boy, not Hawks. The
Tokiyami.
Yeah, Tokiyami.
I think.
We'll just say that. His new ability, that was really cool to see though, where he could actually fly.
I don't know why, but when I did the video of ranking all of Class 1A, I photoshopped a picture of a hawk with human hands, because I guess either I didn't know or I guess I forgot that he's just a bird with fucking human arms and hands.
He is.
And it was just it was the weirdest. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because with other things, like they're either like all of one thing or all of the other thing, but this fucker's like
it's like his parents, like one's I wonder what his parents
look
like.
One's a bird.
Yeah.
His mom is just a bird, and then his dad's like...
It's probably one of those situations where, like, one of his parents is, like, full on something else or looks a lot like something else, and then the other parent's more like a human, and so he popped out.
Yeah. His dad was just walking through the park one day and found a bird's nest. He's like,
that's a sexy bird.
She's the one for me. And then Tokiyami was born with human hands. And he was like, I'm proud of you, boy.
His mom's over there eating a cracker.
Yeah. He's like, how did this happen? How was I born? He's like, don't question miracles. God, he's a freak. He's cool, but he's a freak.
He is definitely a freak. There are freakier people out there, but he is one of them. One of the freakier ones is the manga guy. The one that's like a literal piece of paper as a head. It's like a little.
Yeah, what the fuck? Did his dad fuck a book?
I don't get some of these mutations. Like I understand some of the powers. Or how did like their body parts turn out that way?
I don't know. Could it have been a mask?
It was not a mask. That was his full-on head.
God, it was like his dad fucked Rohan from JoJo's Part 4, like his stand ability. Like Heaven's Door. He just like came in the Bible and his head became a book. And he was like, this will be good.
This is good enough for me. Oh, goodness.
His dad was just reading a doujin one day and got like a little too excited, and he was like,
he must have really liked that doujin. The question is, what's doujin wasn't?
I don't know any doujins. Probably something.
Wasn't?
I mean, he came inside of it, so it couldn't have been anything good.
No, obviously not.
Or it could have been really good. Maybe that's why, that's why it happened.
Yeah.
Monster Musume, maybe?
Ooh, that is a good one. Oh, it's not. Go. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of doujins of that out there.
God, I'm sure. There's some fucking weird ones out there. It's just like Rule 34. Any anime or manga or anything that you can think of, there's going to be a doujin for
Didn't the Fate series start out as a doujin or something like that?
I have stayed away from Fate as much as I can. There's so much Fate lore.
The only reason
the
only reason I know anything about it is because one of our older friends, or I guess technically an ex-friend, he was obsessed with it, so that's the only reason I know. And I could have sworn at some point he said it started out as a doujin.
I wouldn't be surprised. Seems like that's how a lot of things have come into being recently.
Yeah.
But speaking of just anime and degeneracy, how did you get into anime? I think I've talked about how I have in the past, but I'm curious. I don't think we've ever talked about how you got into anime.
Well, but for the rest of you, I'm not sure if Azar said himself, when we were younger, used to shit talk anime all the time. So it'd be very funny to see how our younger selves would react. But how I got the anime, at first I kept it as a secret. Like it was sometime early years of high school. I kept it a secret from. I think you said you liked anime first, and then hearing you talk about it kind of got me a little interested. So I started watching stuff about it. But I think what really got me into it, it might have been Attack on Titan, but I want to say Girls und Panzer. Like, I saw a clip of that one time because I was watching for, like, World of Tanks or something like that. Yeah. And I think one of those popped in my recommended. And I'm like, that looks kind of cool. So I watched it. I remember watching it on my phone at night, like after I had gone to bed. I'd watch like an episode or two. I think that's how I got.
Like you're hiding in a fucking attic, basically. Just like, God, I hope no one hears me watching Girls und Panzer at 3 a.m.
I had headphones in, but I was worried at the time because at the time I was notorious for staying up super late when I had school, and my parents did not like that, so I had to be extra cautious. But
it's really weird. It's really weird to think about because like nowadays watching anime it's not mainstream yet, but it's more widely accepted than it used to be.
Yeah.
So like saying to someone that like, hey, yeah, I watch anime, it's like it's almost like coming out as like like part of the LGBT or something. It's like, yeah, I know it's hard to talk about this, but it's true. I watch anime, and they're like, and then you get shunned, and then you have to go sit by yourself at lunch.
But now it's just like, I watch anime. Okay.
Who's your waifu, man? Yeah, me. I'd fuck 02. It's like, dude, she's 16.
I don't care.
I'd fuck 02.
You don't understand how unbelievably horny I am
for anime and anime women. You seen those 2D thighs, man? It's just
God, I love anime.
God, it's everyone's about some fucking anime titties and thighs.
Although we can't say we're any different.
No, I can't. We're fucking. I mean, I make 18 plus videos. I just recorded one like an hour ago. I can't say anything yet. You could join me on a venture.
Maybe
I do it alone, and I don't know if that's better or worse.
Would y'all want an 18 plus video with me and Bizarre in it?
Oh no, like a boys love. Speaking of boys love, we went to the local Books a Million the other day and got some manga and stuff.
I
And my girlfriend, she she's Puppy in the Discord. She bought some. She loves werewolves, as you may know.
yes.
And she bought some. I don't think she knew it was Boys Love, but it's the first one's called like Coyote or something, and it's about like this Omega werewolf basically getting fucked by this other like alpha werewolf. And I flipped through it and I was like, "Do you know what this is?" And she was happy about it. She enjoys it. So I'm not gonna say anything.
Good.
Everyone has their own tastes.
Yeah.
But I'm not particularly a fan of Boys Love type stuff. I don't have anything against it. It's not something I enjoy.
No, it's definitely suited to a different type of audience.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say shit though. If there was like fucking two cute anime girls, I'd be like, yeah. Get it.
You can get it.
I'm almost done collecting all of the Cells at Work Code Black. There's only 8 volumes, and that series is done. And I've gotten 6 of them, so I just need 2 more. I've only read the first 4 though, so I need to read 5 and 6.
I still have
watched Cells at Work. Right?
I have not. I mean, I've seen clips. I haven't actually gone and watched it.
Wait, like the normal Cells at Work series, not Code Black, but like
yeah, I'm talking about
Cells at Work itself.
Yeah.
I thought you watched
No,
that.
I need to. It's on my to-do list, along with a bunch of other stuff.
Season 2 just ended recently, and it was okay. It was kind of dragged on a little while. It felt like the whole season was kind of filler type stuff.
Yeah.
Season 1 is great though. I haven't watched Code Black. I wasn't gonna watch that until I finished the manga. So I'll probably get on that soon.
You know, I started watching a few newer ones that have come out recently. The main 2 I really like right now, besides just Slime Diaries, because I just kind of group that with slime, is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, and So I'm a Spider, So What? It's a lot like slime, but I really like it.
But he's a spider.
It's actually a girl. Get it right.
My bad, she's a spider.
The story in it is really good. Like, I actually really love it. It's got a lot of twists in it. Like, it really plays with your mind, making you think different things.
I need to watch both of those, but I've never heard of the spider one. I know that you've mentioned it a few times, but like other than you, I don't think I've seen anything on it. Now I know Don't Toy With Me, Miss
Nagatoro.
I know that one's super popular.
Yeah.
I see the manga.
It almost Twitter
everywhere.
tried to cancel it at first.
Really? Why?
Yeah, it's one of those shows where there are suggestive scenes in it, but it's actually got a really nice, wholesome story. Like if you actually pay attention.
Are they like students?
They're like, I think like middle high school, like not middle school, but like middle-aged high school students, like in their like
sophomore, junior.
Yeah, like sophomore, junior, senior maybe. There's somewhere in that. But it's got a nice story, and from what I've seen, I haven't got any more volumes yet. But from what I've heard, it gets even like better. It gets even more I guess slice of lifey kind of style, more wholesome.
How do you feel about slice of life type anime? Because
depending on what it's actually like, they're nice. Like after watching like a huge drama anime or like something with a lot of action, it's kind of nice to like just kind of sit back and relax, and not have to worry like, oh, is my favorite character going to get killed or something like that.
I've noticed that out of all the anime I watch, I think the slice of life anime are the ones that are the most forgettable to me. Not because I don't like them, but because like they're really generic, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like
it's just not a whole lot you can do with a slice of life.
Well, it's because there's no in reality there's no point to any anime.
Yeah.
But with slice of life there's no like big bad villain. What the fuck? No big bad villain of like the week or anything like that, or no like there's really like no goal. So you're kind of just watching it to like relax and chill out, like.
Or like it's more of a romantic one, like a little bit of relationship stuff. It's kind of like you are kind of watching it to see if your two favorites get together or whatnot.
Yeah, like quintessential quintuplets. Like that's like it's a slice of life, I think, but like it's also like
it's got a little drama.
It's like a harem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that would be more of a harem than a slice of life, but it's a slice of life with a goal at the
harems are kind of slice of life for the most part.
Yeah. Unless it's something fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are there any like weird harems that you can think of?
Would you count Monster Musume as one?
Yeah, I guess you would count Mas. Yeah, Masu Masume is a pretty weird harem. I guess you could
Another
say.
one is a lot. It's basically Monster Musume is it's called Monster Girl Doctor. I don't know if you watched it. I watched it. It's basically the same
Yeah.
thing. It's got like the main character who's like he's a human male. He's a doctor and he deals with doctoring just monster people, whatever they're called. I can't remember. But his assistant, which is a nurse, is it's a snake girl,
Oh, okay.
which I have a
I've not
particular
watched
soft
that.
spot for.
Oh boy. I I've not watched that. There was one like monster girl type. I don't remember the name of it. It was an anime. It was like they were like students in
Oh yeah, because
school
I watched that one.
and
I told you about that. It was like Monster Interview or something like that.
yeah, Interview with Monster
Yeah,
Girls.
that's right.
I think something like that. I think there were like 2 seasons of that. I watched that and I like that. That was a
It
good
was a
one.
nice one, yeah.
Monster Masume, however, uh, just for those who haven't watched many videos of my channel or like my Q&A that I did forever ago, um, how I got into anime was like Xeno. I I was like, anime's for fucking nerds. Who watches that shit? And then I saw a trailer for Attack on Titan, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I was like, this is probably pretty stupid, but maybe I'll give it a go. And then at this time, Attack on Titan had literally just came out, and I don't think there was a sub for it. There wasn't a dub for it yet, rather. So I watched it with English subtitles, and I was like, this is really fucking cool. I can't believe that I've been missing out on anime for, I don't know, I was probably 12 or 13 at the time. And I was like, wow, this is it. And then the second anime that I ever watched following Attack on Titan was, of course, Monster Musume.
While in school.
Which is, while I watch this shit. So I think most schools these days, at least like high schools, have like either like school issued iPads or like Chromebooks or something.
Something like
And
that.
ours was no different. We had iPads originally, and then by the time we were graduating, they switched to Chromebooks. And I'm pretty sure I was probably using a Chromebook at the time. It doesn't matter. Either way, I would, like, during our lunch, me, Zito, and a couple other of our friends, we would meet in, like, the school library and just hang out and do whatever while lunch was going on before our next classes started. And I would sit there and watch fucking episodes of Monster Musume, just, like, chilling. I did have my back, like,
We were like
away from everyone.
we were over by the walls, so I mean like there was no way anyone would be coming. No one at that time went to go check out books. I don't think anyone really does that anymore. At least not
No,
in school.
nobody bothered us, and nobody, as far as I know, nobody knew that I was watching it except probably probably the like whatever the fuck the IT guy who was like, "What the fuck is this kid watching in school?"
He's probably waiting for you
Is
to
that
turn it on so
hentai?
he could watch it as well.
He was sitting there waiting. He's like, "Come on, man, I need episode 3."
You're late. You're
And
5 minutes late.
now, if you don't know anything about Monster Musume and don't know what we're talking about and why we're acting this way, there's two versions, first of all. So that should already put in your mind, oh, this is not good. There's a censored and an uncensored version. And of course, me being the saint that I am, I watched the censored version in school because I'm not a complete degenerate. I watched the uncensored version
At
later,
home.
at home by myself. But it's basically, it's been so long since I've seen it now. But
I rewatched it
there's like,
recently, so I can kind of explain. So
I've been thinking about starting the manga, but I'll let you explain it just to give me a refresher as well as everyone else.
So basically, what it is humans and the nation of monsters kind of have a treaty going on, like a peace treaty, after having years of endless war, and to kind of like broker into like society or trying to help people like get used to them. They have like foster homes, which can sign up to, I guess technically adopt a monster person into their home, so everyone can kind of get used to living with them. Uh, the main girl,
You can probably see where this is going.
yeah, the main girl, I can't remember her name. The snake girl, my favorite. She actually gets dropped off at the main character's home. Once again, I don't remember his name. By accident. That's not her actual home she's supposed to go to. So I think she's supposed to go to another one. But she wasn't really real well liked because it's a snake, and a lot of people don't like snakes. But he actually treated her super nice, so she ends up falling in love with him, and she ends up being super jealous of him, and protective, because later on, more and more monster girls end up getting sent to his home by the I forgot what they called it, like the secretary or something like that. The one who's kind of like over like the it's like another sort of government organization that oversees stuff like that. And the thing is, they humans cannot harm monsters, and monsters cannot harm humans because that violates the treaty. But obviously, there are some ways around that. Like the little government force, she's got a little special task force of monster girls, obviously, that will deal with like any situations that might have to do with monster people going berserk or something like that, going to crime. But it's basically just him adding a bunch of monster girls to his house, and he ends up getting a harem eventually. And then
He's just collecting these girls like
yeah,
Pokemon cards.
basically, and then the secretary, that's what I'm just gonna call her, tells him that eventually she wants him to date each one of them, and I think eventually he's supposed to marry one of them. But obviously, it's more like he's gonna marry all of them at some point to make them all
He's gonna
happy.
do more than that.
Well, yeah. But
Okay, so at Books a Million they have the manga, and most times like past volume 2 usually they're always on sale because I guess no one buys them, and I flip through them
hmm
sometimes and there are titties
well, yeah,
everywhere.
no one's
So
gonna
I
buy
guess
that in
shit goes
public.
down. No, that's so when you go to a bookstore and you see a manga, or I guess a book in general, but specifically here a manga, wrapped in plastic, you know that you probably shouldn't check that out if you want to keep your reputation. That's something
Yeah,
you might want to order online. I will say there are exceptions, like Berserk. Berserk is wrapped in plastic.
Berserk's a bit different though. That's just like super gory and crap. That's
Yeah.
there is one, however, that I think you already
Uh,
know what I'm talking about. It goes along with what we were just talking about.
are there 2 volumes of it?
Yes, there are two volumes of this called the Monster Girl Encyclopedia.
Ah,
And it's
yes.
basically what
The
it sounds
Otaku
like.
Bible.
Yes. It's basically monster girls with, uh, if you open it up, it has obviously an illustration of them, and then
Like a short
I don't know if
description
it's,
and stuff.
yeah, a short
I
description of them,
guess.
and I'm not sure what all is in there. I just know because Bizarre's flipped through it a few times when we go to the store,
Yeah, I
and
have.
there's a few pages in some of them where like there's a tiny little art piece where they're engaging in some interesting activities down there.
There are some that are like fucking weird because like personally I'm not a big fan of lollies, but there are some graphic lolly illustrations
Yeah,
in this book that you can
I'm
just go out and buy at a bookstore.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that honestly. It's a little a little
Now
nasty.
normal anime girls, we can let
Yeah.
it slide. Lollies, I'm not part of the FBI watch list. It's fucking weird. Speaking of lollies and weird things with them, do you remember Manga Sensei?
I do.
You watched the anime, right?
I did a while ago. It was
Yeah,
probably a year or two.
it's been a while since I watched. It was probably one of the few beginner animes that I got into. Anyways, at the time I enjoyed it. Now I don't know. It's based off of a light novel, not a manga as far as I remember, but I think it's either ending or about to end. Um
hmm
it's fucking weird. So I'm probably gonna butcher some of this because this is based off memory, but basically the plot is there's this brother like Monsoon. I don't know. Fucking, we'll call him Mana. Mana he's a writer, right? He writes light novels.
Yeah, he's a writer.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a writer. He wants to get them published, but he needs an artist, right? She's an
hmm
artist, right?
Yeah, so he's an
Okay.
artist.
So he
Although he
needs an
doesn't know it's
artist.
her at
Yeah, yeah.
first.
So he needs an artist to do illustrations for his like light novels or manga or whatever. And so he finds one who's like super highly like sought after and like well known in the like art community. I don't remember what her online tag is, but it turns out that it's his sister or half sister that he's living with, and at first he has no idea. And this sister, she's 13. Keep in mind, and he's, I don't know how old he is, probably anywhere from like 16 to 20 maybe.
Yeah, he's in that age range.
But yeah, so he's looking for an artist. He has no idea that the person that he hired is his own sister, and she's drawing some graphic content, and
very graphic,
and she's a child. And over the course of the anime, which it's only a few episodes, like 6 to 12 or something, I don't know. One of those anime that it's probably not gonna get another season. Obviously, it being an anime, and this kind of anime, they fall in love with each other, which you may be thinking, bizarre. Didn't you just say they were brother and sister? Yeah, I did. And it only gets worse going from there. So anyway, I remember reading not too long ago. Like I said, it's the light novel is either ending or it's already ended. But apparently they get married. At some point, I guess at the very end, and like
that's kind of messed up.
they're related. Keep in mind, they confess their love for one another, and get engaged / married or whatever. And the even more fucked up part is the older brother, tells his aunt, because the two siblings are living on their own, because I guess their parents died or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But he tells his aunt about, hey, so just wanted to let you know I'm in love with my sister. And she's like, oh my God. But not because she doesn't like it, but because it turns out that she herself was in love with her brother when they were younger, being
what the hell?
The older brother's father. And she was like,
my God.
She, I guess, seeing, her nephew and niece in love reminded her of her own love for her brother.
And she was,
and she was like, well, it turns out that your parents didn't want to get married, but I really encouraged them to, and because of that, they went on their honeymoon, and that's where the accident happened. Like I said, I think they may have died or something, I don't know. And she blames herself for that accident, whatever it may have been. And that's what she has a problem with, not,
not that they're brother and sister.
Yeah. So she's like, I know that you hate me now, but the truth just had to be told. And they're like, we forgive you. And she's like, okay, I give you my blessing to get married. And then they do. And I'm like, I think there was a bigger problem here than, seeking your nephew and niece's forgiveness. And, not to a brother and sister getting married or anything. That's not a problem of any sort. But, I mean, I guess what can you expect?
That's pretty messed up. Speaking of stuff like that, do you remember, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid?
Yes, I think that has a season 2 coming out soon.
It does. That also has I think we talked about it earlier. Like yeah, it's pretty problematic. Like a few days ago, we were talking about, because I brought it up. I was gonna rewatch it. Yeah. Bizarre reminded me of a certain scene that I'm not really going to go into too much detail. But it involves
scenes, but this one is like the big one.
Yeah, it's a one of the main. If y'all haven't seen this, so one of the characters sees a dragon. It's a lolly, because why? Of course.
Her name is Kana. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
she's basically 5. That's of course she's like, oh, she's 300 years old, but she's a 5-year-old. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah. There's one scene where she's in the house of another young girl, and they start. Who is a human? So she actually is 5. They start kind of roughhousing a bit, and Kana starts licking parts of her body. Basically, that's it.
It's very sexualized, and it's very like it's played off as this like
nasty
innocent thing,
wrong.
But it's in reality it's very fucked up.
It's very not. Yeah,
not okay.
It's very not innocent.
From what I know, I could be wrong about this. From what I know, the mangaka of Miss Kobayashi was written by this guy. I think he's anonymous. I don't remember his name, but I don't want to give him any fucking shout out anyway. He draws like child porn, which it's not real kids because it's drawings, but I mean, that doesn't fucking matter. It's still like depicted child pornography. And for some reason, knowing that the people behind Miss Kobayashi still allowed it to be aired and made. And the fucked up thing is, well, not fucked up, but the thing is, like, if Kana, that character, wasn't in Miss Kobayashi, the show would be great. I mean, I think it's a good show.
It'd be basically almost a perfect show.
But because of Kana and the depictions of her, especially with other characters, and that she's a child, it makes it one of those shows that you can't really enjoy and support. And we were talking about this the other day, where we forgot that scene completely. And I think that's a common thing. We'll talk about this more maybe in a later episode or something, but I think it's a common thing with anime specifically, because obviously most anime are targeted toward like the male demographic, and so much shit like that happens that we just forget about it like immediately. Like while it's happening, we're like, oh, this might be a little weird or something, and then we forget about it just like that until it's brought back up again, and we're like, oh, that was kind of fucked
really
up.
Messed up.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an okay thing to do.
It's not. And season 2 is coming out, and I'm probably gonna watch it for the sake of like talking about it. But did you watch I think it was a teaser. They've been coming out maybe every week with like 1 to 3 minute
I think
shorts.
I'm the one that even linked you one of them, or at least I know I told you about it.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it a little bit. I watched the first short that came out. It was like a minute and a half or something on Crunchyroll, and there's been like 5 or 6 of them since then. But I don't like the character design of
the new one.
She's basically a lolly with big tits, and it's very disconcerting. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, I don't like the character design for that reason. I don't know. I've not read the manga or the light novel. If it's based on a light novel, I don't know.
It probably is.
One of the two, most likely. But
I really like the story about just the show in general. It's a nice little story. Nice little slice of life thing.
Characters. I love that Kobayashi and the main dragon,
Toru.
I love like their little like gay relationship. It's really cute. For all, like, if the show was just focused on the two of them and their relationship and like how it evolves,
the other like adult characters.
Yeah, like fucking
Fafnir. Oh,
Fafnir. I love Fafnir. If it was just focused on the adult characters and like character development and whatnot, it would be great. And it's a good show, but because of like the instances where they like have these like lolly child coded characters like portrayed in a very not good way, it I don't know, it kind of turns me away from it. But I'll probably still watch the second season just for the sake of making a video or talking about it on the podcast or something.
Since we've talked about how we got into anime, how about we talk about how we met each other? Because I don't think we've actually fully gone over that story.
Oh god, do we want to?
It's not that we want to, it's just that they probably would like to know.
Oh man, okay, I'll start it and then I'll let you finish off strong where you should come in at.
Alright.
So let me paint a picture in everyone's head. You're in 5th grade. You're in middle school. You love a book series called Warriors. If you don't know what Warriors is, it's basically about different clans and factions of feral cats. And these cats have different roles within their factions, like healer, fighter, chief, whatever the fuck, rogue. And you're how old are you in 5th grade? I don't know, fucking 10, something, 11. You're that age, and you're like, man, how cool would it be if warriors were real? And so you start a thing amongst your peers in class, and you're like, hey guys, I'm making warrior factions. All you gotta do is pick which faction you want to be in, come up with your cat name, and then we'll act it out in PE and in school and shit. And some way, somehow, quite a few people join. And thinking back on it, it was so fucking embarrassing. I'm pretty sure my name was Tiger Star, and I don't remember the faction I was in. Probably like the Thunder Clan or some shit like that.
I remember you were the leader of your faction.
I was the leader of my faction and the noble creator of this entire ordeal. But how did I bring you into this mess?
Uh, let's see. How was it? I can't remember my name. I was brought in not by you directly, but I think at the time we didn't. Bizarre and I didn't know each other, or if we did, it wasn't that well.
Yeah.
Uh, we had like some common friends, and then that brought me in. I think he was actually the leader of the opposite of the clan that Bizarre was at war with during all this. Asked if I wanted to join because I was also reading the book series at the time, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Because we had the same PE and everything.
Yeah.
So I'll go over there and join. I at first was not a part of any faction. I was actually a lone wolf, or I guess a lone cat in this story. I was like a bounty hunter, I guess, or a merc for hire, something whatever you call it. And I think eventually towards the end, I did end up joining your faction as a warrior, but
Yeah.
it was basically us in PE doing all this acting like cats, but everyone else was acting like normal kids at the time playing kickball and stuff.
Playing
While
kickball, running around the field.
we're on the other side of the field running around like cats, hissing and clawing at each other. And then I had a good friend at the time. I kind of stopped talking to him though. We haven't really talked in a while. He was obsessed with Sonic,
Oh
so
God.
he actually got us all until mainly him though. He kept the kickballs and was calling them Chaos Emeralds. We were using like one or two for some reason. I don't remember what we were using them
Were they
for.
kittens?
I don't think they were kittens. I
I
don't know
hope
what
not.
they were.
That would fucking be stupid.
I don't think they were kittens. They were something, but like he was using them as Chaos Emeralds. And I remember at one point someone from like one of the clans got into an argument with him. It's like, no, we're using this for our playtime. It was so kinds of. And then the pre-coach came over. It's like,
Uh,
hey, can you all stop acting like a bunch of idiots and just give us the ball?
God, it was. Oh, thinking
But
back on it hurts.
that's how Bizarre and I met was through
Yeah.
that, and we just
Yeah.
kind of started hanging out. I think after that.
I don't remember who all my friends were at the time, but after that, I had like a nice group of friends around me, and like we've been friends since then, basically. Minus
Majority
one
of
who
us,
came
at
in.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people came and went like later on or whatever, but that was definitely a weird fucking. I mean, we were kids, so like really, it's not that abnormal. Though maybe maybe it was pretty fucking weird for the time. Uh, but
Probably looking back on it now, especially if it had happened like now, if we were
oh,
to go
these
back and do
days we
this.
would get
Yeah.
fucking beat to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, from what I understand these days, like you get bullied if like you don't play Fortnite, or if you do play Fortnite, and if you don't have any like if you have like the default skin, like you get just fucking bullied.
You get bullied if you play Fortnite, as well as if you don't. So
It's
I mean,
just
it's
a
like a
lose
lose-lose
lose.
scenario.
If you're young, you get bullied if you don't play it, and the older kids bully you if you do play it. So you're
Yeah.
fucked either way. Just don't play Fortnite. That's
That's the
today's
end
goal.
lesson.
Yeah. Another short story, real quick, before we wrap things up. I think skip ahead a few years. This may have been 7th or 8th grade. I think you were present for this story. It was during PE again. Were you there the day I brought Yu-Gi-Oh cards to PE?
I don't think so. But I do remember the story.
Okay, so I brought my Yu-Gi-Oh cards to PE because me and a couple other of my friends at the time we were just talking about them, and we were wanting to like show each other our decks and whatnot, which sounds gay, but it's not. I promise. Maybe a little bit. But I pulled out my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and our PE coach was like, "Hey, Bizarre, come over here right now." And then I walked up to him, and he was like, "What do you have?" And I was like, just some playing cards." And he was like, "Let me see them." And I was like, "Oh God, okay." And then I handed him the cards, and he flipped through them, and he's like, "This porn?" And I was like, "No, it's not porn. It's just playing cards. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh. It's you just play with your friends." And he was like, "You gambling?" And I was like, "No, we're just battling each other." And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna keep these until the end of class, and maybe you can get them back when class is over or PE's over." And I was like, "Okay." And then I embarrassed because he was loud about it, and like all the girls on their side were like looking, and I was like, now I'm never gonna get a date, even though that was probably not the reason I was not getting dates at the, fucking
At the
7th
time.
grade at the time. It was really fucking embarrassing. And like the whole fucking gym heard this little altercation, and I was like, oh god, my life is ruined. Now I think that I collect porn cards.
The only time I ever got in trouble, like PE wise, something like that, was we were walking to the field, like to run track, and I said fuck very, very loudly, and like the student coach or whatever was like right next to us, and like I didn't know he was over there till everyone like stopped talking and like oh, and I look and I see him just staring at me. He's like, we're talking when we get down there. I'm like, shit. And then he was like, he was like, give me that. Like, what would your parents think about this? And blah blah blah. But luckily, he let me go right before like the actual coaches showed up, so I didn't get into a whole lot of trouble.
Well, that's good. That could have been probably worse at the time.
He basically just gave me a slap on the wrist and like, hey, don't do it again.
And he spit on you.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I think that'll just about wrap it up for the end of the first episode of the Bizarre Cast. I hope you guys made it this far into the video.
And if you did, we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you want to hear. We're going to be talking about just random shit, life stories, anime, manga, games, whatever the fuck we feel like, I guess. But yeah, that'll about do it. I'm Bizarre once again.
And I am Zeno.
And yeah, that'll be it from us. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
See ya.